Today, I'm exploring Little India in Singapore. Let's tour the colourful streets, sample the spicy food, and finish up by shopping at the Mustafa Centre, a modern cultural landmark of the Indian community here in Singapore. Get comfortable as we visit this big cultural piece of the puzzle right here in this city-state. Okay, here I am in Little India. Very colourful, very bright. A lot of nice aromas everywhere. You can smell the spices, lots of flowers, lots of spicy food. And it's quite busy, and I love how everything is painted in bright colours, more so like the oranges, the blues, the reds, the yellows. This area hasn't always been Little India. It was formerly known as Serangoon. And one thing that I have noticed as I walk around Little India, in today's Little India, is some of the names of the streets are very Anglo-Saxon, like Campbell and Clive, etc. Dunlop, saw a Dunlop as well. And I did read that these streets, before it became Little India, were actually private lanes or private roads used by some of the prominent families out here. Turn the camera around so you can see the stores, little fruit stores. And they would use these roads as their private lanes to get around in. And then later on, the Indians came from, mostly from the Tamil southern side or southern half of India, and they came here to raise cattle near the river that runs through close by. Most of them stayed, the community built up, and now it's Little India. As is all Little Indias around the world. I've been to quite a few. All very colourful. Even the name of the MRT is Little India. As I explored Little India and tried to make sense of its history, I found myself on the Heritage Trail. The trail showcases the colourful spaces, architecture and religious buildings in the area. One of them is the famous Tan Tang Nai Chinese Villa. This double-storey home is the last of its kind and once belonged to a prominent Chinese businessman in the area who owned sweets factories. Today, it's a relic of the past and it's been painted many different colours to fit in with the theme of the area. Alrighty, this is very brave of me to put the camera on in here, because as you can see, there's a lot of decorations all around me. And I'm walking through the bazaar here, and this is very colourful. We have decorations all over. Shopkeepers on either side. And just behind me on the main road are a whole heap of other services. Everything from mobiles to food, you name it. But in here, looks like the traditional bazaar. Already a few shopkeepers come up to you and said, "Hey brother, come and take a photo of my shop." I said, "I'll be back." Plenty of time. I'm spending half a day here in Little India. Let's see what we can get our hands on. As per usual, nothing for the middle-aged guy at the markets again, but it was cool to see all the decorations. I was also lucky enough to catch a glimpse of a cultural show at the Indian Heritage Centre situated next door. All this exploring has made me hungry. Time to eat some spicy Indian food and give you my thoughts on Singapore so far. I want to show everyone my meal, my vegetarian thali. There's a lot going on there. It's all veggie, keeping it light, keeping it right. Sitting here in Little India, across the road from the Mustafa Centre, and just taking a break here in Little India, tiring Little India. Little India is quite busy. People are running around like little bees. People are buying things. There's tourists here. There's people working. It's absolutely crazy, and the hot weather doesn't help, but it's good exercise. Very tasty Indian food. So, I've been on my travels here in India. Look at that, I said India. No, I'm not, I'm in Singapore. Singapore is a melting pot fusion of cultures. We have the Indian culture, We have the Malay culture, we have the Chinese culture, we have the English culture, and this is why I quite like Singapore, because at the same time it's very clean, very structured, and you get to experience life and all of the great cultures that are out there, all in one package. The one thing that people do ask me, is Singapore expensive? I guess Singapore can be as expensive as you want it to be. At the moment, I won't lie, yes, it is more expensive to other Southeast Asian countries. The Singaporean dollar is strong. You go buy a bottle of water, you're probably paying $2.50 Singaporean. A meal could be anywhere from 10 to 30 Singaporean dollars. That can get quite expensive, especially for Australians. But just because somewhere is more expensive doesn't mean you should avoid it, because Singapore is great. So what am I doing to combat some of these expensive costs that are incurred while staying in Singapore? Well, the first thing is I'm limiting my stay here. I'm only staying for 3 days. I think 3 days is a good amount. I'm staying in a hostel. Hostels are great. I never used to be a hostel fan. When I was younger, for some reason I used to associate going on a holiday with staying in 5-star accommodation. I don't know where I got that from, but as I get older, I associate going on a holiday with staying in a location that's not only cheaper, but also strategically located in a place where you can get to the sites and places that you want to see. I find hotel rooms are quite lonely. You know, they'll give you a room number and you'll go out into a ward and you'll be the 30th room on that ward down the hallway somewhere, and that's it. You're there, you don't see anyone unless you walk down that hallway, go down the 20 flights of levels down to the lobby where someone might say hi to you. People are very approachable in hostels, people that work there. They can give you key information straight away, and most of the time they're young, outgoing, fun people that can relate to what you want to do and achieve on your stay. Eating at hawker centres and local places, that's another great way to cut back on some of the high expenses. Meals in the hawker centres and some of the local places can cost a few dollars Singaporean, which is great, and the food quality is really good. Like, I'm eating Indian food now, and I can probably relate this at a local place here, just in Little India, and I can relate this to probably a mid to high end range place in Australia. The flavours are just amazing, and it doesn't put a hole in your pocket. As it is in Asia, 7-Eleven is your friend. Whenever you need anything, whatever that may be, just think 7-Eleven first. There's a big chance that it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to be more strategically located and closer to your hotel than any other place that you're looking for. So I'm a big 7-Eleven fan. So, need anything? Think 7-Eleven. This is no ad. Don't feel obligated to catch a cab everywhere. You don't need to. Singapore's quite small, and everything is within a few, probably kilometres of walking distance if you're up for it. Or you can always download the Grab app and enjoy cheaper travel. Grab is the equivalent of Uber here in Singapore. Or alternatively, Singapore has a great metro system. You buy a card for approximately 10 Singaporean dollars and keep topping it up. An average ride on the metro can cost you anywhere from $2 to $3. Singapore's not going to break the bank. Some things are still pretty cheap, and it all depends on your appetite and what you want to get out of your trip. If you're out drinking and dancing every night, then obviously it's going to get quite expensive. And I hope some of these tips have helped you today. I will enjoy my meal now here in Little India, and then we'll continue exploring. Cheers. Hey guys, a visit to Little India is not complete without going into the Mustafa Centre. This place is jam-packed. Look behind me. This is just the entrance. I'll swing around, look at this. People everywhere. So the Mustafa Centre is a specialty store, and it's got tens of thousands of lines in there. So there's clothing, there's food, there's perfume, there's handbags, there's luggage, if you're going overseas, there's cafes in there, there's everything, whatever you can think of, Colgate, Tim Tams, it's all in there. So it's just through these doors. When you go in there, they put a zip tie in your backpack, And then whatever you buy in there as well, they also put a zip tie on that as well, because there's just so many lines, there's no other way to control it except for zip tying everything. So if you go in there, don't forget to come out and then get your zip tie cut. Every time I come here, there's an addition. I saw that there's a Mustafa jewelry section. I saw that there's a Mustafa Cafe now. This place is growing by the day, and it's taken over a number of blocks, and it spans across several blocks in either direction. So the business is going well. Look, it's a bit overwhelming here. There's a lot of people, so it's, you know, if you do go in there, I'd recommend that you limit your attendance within there, because there's too many people and you cannot get through the aisles at times. I'd recommend that you go in there and you plan your visit, go in there, buy what you need to do, and then if you want to come back, then you can see another part. It's very hard to see everything at once. It will take you hours. I spent about an hour in there and I saw a few things, just kind of refreshing my memories about the Mustafa Centre, and that's great, but I think that's enough for me. Time to move on, and Mustafa Centre is here in Little India. Come check it out. I decided to come back the next morning to give everybody a tour around the centre without the crowds. This way, it will be easier for us to see the products. At the heart of the centre lies a new elevator, which was set up to facilitate foot traffic between the different buildings. Despite the new elevator, it's still a bit complex to navigate this place because it's so big. You can gauge the complexity of the centre by the labels on the elevator. I've even seen travellers attempt to map the centre online to help other tourists navigate the place when they visit. Anyway, let's enjoy this unique tour of the Mustafa Centre without the crowds. Watch your head on this thing. Low roof. This place has everything. Whether you're looking for clothing, accessories, makeup, groceries, fish, electronics, it's all here. They say that if you're looking for a bargain to come to the Mustafa Centre, but I don't know, I think the prices seem to resemble Australian prices. I'm looking around and, you know, you've got Colgate at $10 and you've got different types of vitamins at $15, $20. Mind you, this is all Singaporean, so I think this place has become more expensive. I recall coming here about 5 years ago and this place was super cheap, but I think a combination of post-COVID inflation and the exchange rate between Australia has made things a bit pricey. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. Whichever way I go, whether it's up, down, left or right, I end up in the grocery section. I'm doomed. I think I'm on level 3 at the moment, or maybe it's 2. Can you believe this? I actually have to cross the road to get to the apparel section because I can't get to it from inside the Mustafa Centre. So I've got to cross the road and go in through another entrance. Now I'm in the clothing area. This place is crazy. There's everything from children's clothing to women's clothing, and there's hundreds and thousands of lines here. It's so funny, you've got clothes, or you've got apparel, and then all of a sudden the nappies start. That's how this place is. You really need some assistance to navigate your way through here. So when you're going into the Mustafa Centre, there's a number of entry points. Just keep an eye out. They're at the tip of my finger, and remember which entry point you went in so you know which one to come out from, because there's a possibility you can go through entry 1 and then come out from entry 3 or 4, and then you'll be about a block or 2 down the road and then you'll be lost. Unless you got the internet and you got Google Maps, then you'll be fine. But if you want to come back out the right way, remember your entry number. If you go shopping in the Mustafa Centre, there's two things you're going to come out with 100%. 1, a plastic bag, and 2, the zip tie. The zip ties play a fundamental role in zipping everything up to make sure that there's no crime. So you'll have a whole heap of zip ties by the time you finish up shopping. The Mustafa Centre is not only a 24/7 shopping mall here in Little India. It is a cultural landmark of the Indian community in Singapore. Well, we've reached the end of our Little India tour. Bright colours, tasty spicy foods, vibrant streets, and an endless shopping experience are at the heart of what to expect when you visit. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. A big adios from your friend, the Hassmeister.